I want to give you some backdrop about the model that we use. Our book also, Love Lost and Found.
Which I'm going to hold up.
Carrie's going to hold it up for you if you can read it. While you come here at Interventions, we will offer you a copy of that free of charge. We will put that on your pay sheet for $10. Return it to us. We recycle it. If you decide you want to buy it, welcome. We'd love to sell it to you, but that's not really the important thing. But there we teach roughly 8 things we want people to do, right, and 4 things we want people to not do during the course of them being in this program. Right. And so let me give you a little rundown of some of those things real quick, because I think it'll help you understand where we're going. Number one, while you're in the course of this program for the next 26 weeks, the one thing we want you to begin to not do, to stop doing, is to stop scorecarding. And if you will, we call that eliminate scorecarding.
And what is scorecarding?
Scorecarding is the list of things that I bring out to hold against those people around me that they've failed me or betrayed me by. In fact, right, with that, I give a certain amount of guilt to that person for letting me down.
Right.
I like to remind everybody that the brain can't tell the difference between a memory of a past negative event and going on right now. So when I bring up a scorecard item internal to myself, I'm also reliving that anger. I project it into that current topic discussion, and it just is one way of destroying any hope for problem solving.
Right.
Okay?
So that scorecard is the list of things that have happened between you and I in the past that I hold against you and have anger about.
That's correct. The second thing we ask you to do is stop caretaking and start caregiving. Another word for caretaking is called codependence.
Yes.
We probably about 30% of our clients are involved in relationships that are so dysfunctional. The person married who they thought they would be, not who they are. They look at the person for their potential, for their growth, the possibilities of how you might turn into such a better person. And yet in itself, that is filled with a lot of obstacles, because now I didn't marry for who you are, or I'm not living with you for who you are. I'm living for you with who I can make you be. So when I caretake, I get overly involved in the lives of others. I take responsibility for their problems, and then I try to control them, control their growth, control their learning process, and through guilt and shame and attacking their self-worth and self-esteem, I'm always attempting to make this person into someone else.
Right. And that's
taking.
Right.
Caregiving, very healthy. I walk the walk with you, but I don't take responsibility for your problems.
Right.
You know, and caregiving is very healthy. I don't lend money to people that have lost the money due to irresponsible ways. I don't bail people out of problems. I listen, I talk, I suggest, but I don't give advice, and I don't get so involved that I become a part of the problem instead of a part of the solution.
Correct.
Number 3, stop squirrel caging. The idea that I ruminate, process. And in that time that I'm doing that, I'm so caught up in those mental self-tapes that I'm disassociated from time, place, and circumstance. We see in our clinical practice, men come in the front door, especially their first couple of weeks, and they have spent 20 minutes driving, but while they were driving, they were thinking about how unfair this is, and this is all wrong, and I shouldn't be here. And there they are spinning, and they walk in the door, and they truly, they are so disconnected from where they were and what they were doing, they don't even remember the 20-minute drive here.
Right.
Because they were spinning, squirrel caging. Okay? Number 4, distortions will destroy. When we talk about cognitive distortions, these are the things the tapes that we play to ourselves, all or nothingism, when nobody could do any better than that. Everybody's like that. The idea that we have these notions that we can distort reality, and as we reflect this idea of what a distorted reality is, we begin to believe it, and we begin to believe it in such ways that we destroy our own serenity, our own peace of mind.
Right.
So there's a lot of distortions out there, but all or nothing thinking, disqualifying the positive, overgeneralizing, catastrophizing, jumping to conclusions.
Right.
Labeling, emotional reasoning, personalizing, but stop distorting. Stay in the present moment. Stay focused to yourself and to the facts of what's going on. Okay?
Yes.
Number 5, maintain solutions focus.
Right. Which means I have to stop focusing on the problem and start focusing on how does this get solved? How do I solve the problem?
There's only 3 types of problems: those you can solve, those you can't solve, and those you can mediate or modify, but they'll never go away. And too often we have people that are giving great deals of energy into problems they can't solve.
Right.
You can't fix somebody against their will. You can't heal someone against their will. You can't solve a problem that's not yours. So if you're talking about your in-laws or you're talking about, past experiences, whether it be in work or other relationships, they're done. They're over. But when you maintain solutions focus, we're talking about how do I invest in the solution of what's going on right now for those two types of problems, those I can affect and those that I can solve.